The man, the myth, the legend, Charles Oakley joins us at Scoopy Radio. Brother, what's going on?
Man, we got the same color blue on. It must be that blue Saturday, huh?
You got that New York memo.
Yeah, I got the memo. I was the trendsetter, though.
You were.
No doubt.
Tell me something. In today's NBA, who reminds you of Anthony Mason?
Who reminds Anthony Mason? Wow. I mean, LeBron James for his like speed, get him down the court, But it's hard to say because Mace was, 6'6", 270, ran like a 4'4", 540. So probably LeBron for us, get him down the court.
But it's funny you say that because, number one, Anthony Mason, playmaker, point forward, playing in Pat Riley's system. But then you look at Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson was that tall point guard. Does he remind you more of Mace, or does he remind you more of Magic?
LeBron. Magic wasn't really fast. He had, sometimes you look faster with the ball. And LeBron's fast, and I knew Mace was fast. So if they ran a 40, it'd be a great thing.
Why they giving LeBron so much hell about Bronny being drafted 55?
I don't know. It's life. We always have hell as black, as individual. They don't want to see our goal. And it was the goal of Bronny and LeBron to play together one day. We didn't know how it was going to happen, but it happened in a way that, hey, his dad was the Lakers, he went to USC, and they're right there in California. So, you got to give him his flowers. LeBron, he got his head on his shoulder, so he just got to be real cool and calm and just take it as it comes. And, he in the league now, so they can't take that away. He got drafted. They can't take that away. Now, just work on your game and, get up to par.
Have you gotten a chance to actually sit and watch Bronny play?
Yeah, not a lot, but I see bits and pieces. But when you come from a family, LeBron James, how they work and operate, he understands the game, the high IQ, and on the floor, everything else has to dictate itself.
Have you watched, like, strengths-wise, and I'm not going to talk about the bad because everybody does, but his strengths and his attributes on the court, what do you see?
Well, you don't know because the game now is on the fly, That's why you see Dallas put the ball in Luka's hands. Certain teams put the ball. You see these 6'10", 6'11 guys bring the ball up. So you got to let the game play out. You don't know what can happen in a game, but I know keep your man in front of you. That's a must thing. Need to get back into the game. Teams holding guys and kind of playing defense. That's why Dallas got blown out by Boston because they couldn't play individual defense. And sooner or later, if you're talking about winning championships and being a competitive team in this league, you're going to have to play defense, and that's one of the strengths.
Speaking of Boston, Jeff Van Gundy was, I guess, a consultant to the Celtics. He's now assistant coach with the Clippers. How cool is that?
I don't know how cool it is, but sometimes I think you're seeing people cheer for Washington, Redskins, Giants, all them the same. But back in the day, it used to be, I think Kiki Barker said, when Shaquille went to Philly, and you're a Giant, you don't go to a team in your division, a team that you operated with, a team that don't respect one another, but people going for the money, no matter what they said, what happened in yesterday's years is different than these years. So, I'm glad he got a championship ring. He was an assistant coach when I was there. You got to be head coach. He's been around head coaching. So, I think he brought something to them because he do understand the game. And Brad Stevenson, whoever brought him aboard, and look what happened with Boston. Boston was knocking at the door the last 3 or 4 years for a championship. The best thing I've seen for how they mature as a team, as a whole. When Golden State beat them, they was hollering and begging for calls. The officials, they seemed like Taylor and Brown got themselves together and came back more humble, worked on their game, and you see what happened against Dallas.
How would Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum fare in your era of NBA basketball?
Couldn't say. I think it'd be a little more difficult whatever they do on the court. And they might say it might be more easier, but we don't know that. Sometimes you want to judge something and try to, place things out how would they work. The only thing probably would work, I think, in this era, between the difference between our era back in the 80s and 90s to the 2020 years, I don't think the guys physical enough to play back then, but some guys are physical enough mindset to play now.
You don't strike me as a guy who looks down on today's era just because you're older and it was more physical. But what is something in today's era that you wish happened, besides the money, that was something that was in your era?
More freedom to do stuff on the court. We were more structured. It was structured. You had to play. It was like a music group. If you in the band, Earth, Wind & Fire, you're cool in the game. If you wasn't the lead singer, you had to play an instrument. And wasn't about a lot of backup singing. keyboard, piano, guitar, horn. You had to play them pieces to be in the band. And just like on most of the teams back in the 80s and 90s, probably go back further, it was more structured. It was just like when you operation room, you got to come in and sign in, the doctor comes and that, and his whole crew come with it. But we had to know every position, and then you had to know what every guy do on the court. The same stuff JJ, what's the name talking about now? That was the 80s and 90s game. It ain't now. We had a playbook with 50 plays, 75 plays. So it ain't about plays no more. It's how you control it, conduct, the guys conduct themselves with coaches, go back and forth. It's a whole different ball game now. So basketball, the key ain't coaching no more. It's how can you get your guys together on a consistent basis. First of all, you got to get you a leader. Somebody got to be a leader. That's what I think the game is missing now. A leaders on every team. Every team don't have leaders no more.
Charles Barkley, a contemporary of yours, said that after this season coming up, that he's not going to do any more TV. Do you buy it?
Who give a fuck about Charles Barkley? He need to go to the gym and worry about his health. But his mouth is going to get him in trouble. But, he's a clown, point blank. He looked for attention. The stuff he said now, he would never say back in the day about no player. But somebody would have hit him in his fucking fat mouth.